What's going on, everyone? It's your boy Deontay. Break the Cycle section. How you doing? And welcome to tonight's Break the Cycle FX chart and analysis session. Let's check out the dollar index. Here's what we looked at last week. All right, so last week we saw that the dollar index had broke previous structure, of course. All right, this is off the daily time frame. It broke previous structure, hit our take profit or our projection, and then pull it back, right? Just as we were expecting it to. And then on this pullback, we were expecting it to either, well, I was expecting it to reject off of this and create another high up here, just over 95.50, okay? Let me see if this is another daily. All right, cool. And here's the dollar off of the 4 hour, all right? So we had price in our nice little triangle here, and we're expecting it to reject back down and then possibly break out, retest, and shoot back up, right? That's what we're looking for in the 4 hour. Let me see what this is. Okay, let's go. So let's see what happened. So looking at what the dollar did last week, yes, it did come down to retest, but it just smashed the lower lows, right? So that buy opportunity did not present itself. Remember, even if we are expecting a move, hold on. All right, there we go. Even if we are expecting a move on a pair, right, we have to wait for our confirmation. So what happened here, price did break our trend line. It came back down for a little retest, hesitated a little bit, and just freaking smashed through, right? So at this point, this is what I'm starting to see here. Let's go over to the weekly, actually. All right. Boom, boom, boom. All right, cool. So we see in the weekly, what this kind of looks like to me is we had this nice push up, right? And the price came back down for a retest. It looks like this could possibly be a retest, but you're going to see on lower time frames, we could also see dollar. We might be able to see dollar do a further push down. So just looking off the weekly, though, we drop a fib from this previous push up all the way down to a dollar fell before it started to turn around. We see that this last bearish push up 2 weeks ago was actually to the 50% level on our fib, right? So we always look for a rejection around the 50 or even the 62. So since we got this fresh rejection, price fell down, but we haven't really broken a previous low yet. All right, so I'm not really entirely bearish on dollar yet. We really have to see what happens around this area. Let me check the chat and make sure everyone's good. All right, cool. We really have to see what happens down in this area right here, right? We could get another rejection and then break previous highs. So I'm going to drop another fib. We know that this is the 50 level, right? So let me just do this right here. Let me just write some things on here real quick. Weekly 50%. All right. And we're going to put that to this bottom right. All right, cool. So we got the weekly 50% right there. Now I want to drop another fib real quick because I want to see how far can price pull down. And does it line up with anything down here? Like, does it line up with a significant level? Okay. So off the weekly, we have to push up to the 50% level. All right, now we see prices falling back down. I'm looking around our second kill zone level, which is the 0.705 on our fib. All right, I want to see what happens around here, okay? Because price could definitely keep on coming down and reject right off of this and create another higher high, just like I mentioned previously, okay? So we got the 50, we got the 705 level. I kind of got that highlighted with the red dotted line. And then we got the 709. I'm gonna put that just above the 709. Okay, so what I actually want to do is I'm going to drop down to, well, let me put this back on real quick so we can annotate some things. All right, so looking for possibly something like this. Actually, this arrow right here is just lined up real perfect, so I'll just move this, looking for rejection at this level, anywhere down in here. Anywhere down in here. Okay. Of course, we got to wait for that rejection to happen. Just because price hits this level doesn't mean that we jump straight into a trade. Okay. So want to see if it comes all the way down here and the push back up. Let's go down to the weekly time frame. I'm sorry, the daily time frame. All right. So, sorry about that. My mouse is sticking a little bit. All right, so check out this daily time frame, guys. Right off the bat, something hops out to me. I see a possible market formation. Does anyone see a possible market formation that could form if price does fall all the way down to our second kill zone level? Can anyone see anything possible there? Double top, okay. Head and shoulders, okay, cool. So yeah, I see the head and shoulders. Okay, I see this possibly playing out. Where's my tool? There you go. I see this possibly playing out. Then another push up. Something like that, right? That's the possible outcome, okay? So there's two things we have to look for on this. First, we're looking for the rejection off of this level right here, right? So we're waiting to see if price keeps on pushing down and rejects off of this level, just like it's done in the past over here, okay? Then we're going to see, we want to see it push back up to around 93.75, 93.50, anywhere in this area right here, okay? And then reject back down for a possible head and shoulders. So if this does play out, okay, we might not get a solid break here, guys. Okay, it could just be a little small hit of shoulders, boom, come back down, hit this level again, and then push up. That could be the overall, the push down before the push up that I was talking about on the weekly time frame. Does that make sense so far? Does that make sense? A lot of time when we're trading forex and we're marking up the charts, it's not really our job to predict what's going to happen. We just need to look at price and see, okay, what can happen? All right, right now we see we have price boxed in between these two levels, the 50 and I believe, was this the 7.2? Let me just double check that real quick because I don't remember. We need the market. 705, all right. Let me mark this down real quick. I don't know where it went, but it's all good. So we need to see what happens between these two levels right here, okay? Let me go down to the 4 hour just to see what we can see. All right, so check out this 4 hour, guys. So when price fell, it actually broke back into this triangle that we already had drawn up. So it might not make it all the way back down to this level, okay? Because remember, when we're talking about uptrends and downtrends, we're looking at market structure. All right, so we see we got a low, high, lower low, higher high, right? Then a low, lower high. We'll probably get a lower low, right? Come back up, retest, then push down. Does that make sense? So we have like this area right here, right? It could come anywhere in this area and reject, okay? So we just gotta keep an eye on it. And if it doesn't come all the way down here and push back up, it's okay, right? It's okay if you miss the original move if you trade the dollar. I usually use it just as a way to help me look at the other pairs and what could possibly happen on like gold and GU and other things, right? So let me go back. Here we go. Drop that daily. So this is what it looks like on here. You want to see this? Come up. You want to see a possible rejection back down. Okay. And if it breaks a lower low, boom, like right around here. All right. So anywhere in this area, let me just make a circle. Drop this down. All right, that's what we want to see what happens. See if we get a rejection right off of this trend line, okay? We could remove a couple of these things here, here. Price will usually copy what it does over here. So what do we see in between these zones over here? We saw this nice consolidation over here, right? When price was pulling back, we could get consolidation over here also. Okay, we could get consolidation all the way out before it decides to jump up, and push up or come all the way back down. So we just want to keep an eye on that, okay? So that is the dollar index. Let's check out gold. On the weekly. All right. So it's a little bit of mess, but we gotta log in. I mean, zoom into this bad boy, okay? So gold, we're still trying to see what's gonna happen right here, all right? Because basically we had a nice little push down, and this could be just a pull up before another push back down. I'm not entirely bullish long term on gold until we break this high over here, okay, around 1965. Then we'll see if we get another push back up. But for now, we could possibly see this happen. Let me throw some emails on here real quick, see where we're lining up at. Email 50, all right, cool. Let's drop the fib on this bad boy. See, if I drop a fib on here, we're right at the third level kill zone, okay? We're right at the third level kill zone. So this is around the area right here. Let me mark it off for you guys. Right around here. Okay, we gotta see what happens right in here. We could easily get a rejection from that as far as here. We could easily get rejection anywhere in this area back down, at least to the 0.62, okay? And then after that, our next target would be back down to the 50. And then after that, we'll see what happens, all right? So on gold, this is the weekly. Remember, we got to see what happens in this area between 1934.34 and 1940.08, okay? Also, let me see where this fib lines up if we pull it all the way from the top. See, this pullback really hasn't even reached the 50 on this fib, okay? So we could definitely still get a nice push up or even a wick, right? A nice little wick like we see over here. And then a nice full drop down, especially depending on what the dollar does. If dollar ends up playing out in that head and shoulders head and shoulders formation, this is going to keep on going up, okay? But if dollar rejects at those levels that I showed you, then we're going to see gold possibly come down and end up creating a double bottom in the long run, okay? That's the weekly. Let's check out the daily. All right. So let's check out some of this stuff here. We saw gold fall last week. Ended up pulling back up. What do we say about gold? All right, so we wanted to see gold push up to the bottom of our trend line at least last week. This is based off the 4-hour. Just looking at market structure, guys, right? This broke the previous high. This is how we knew we were going long, right? So we got a low, high, lower low, higher high, right? And then start consolidating a little bit. So we expected to create a lower high. I'm sorry, that's not a lower low. That's a lower high, higher high. So we're gonna see if it creates a lower high here and then a higher high last week, right? That's what we're looking for. Basically looking at market structure, and it ended up pushing all the way back up to the bottom of our trend line. Let me delete some of this stuff. All right. So this is one reason why, if this is not your first time on a call with me, you've heard me say that our trend lines, keep the trend lines on your chart, all right, until they're proven wrong, but still on the higher time frames, these trend lines are just like support resistance, all right? So they're always going to be true at some form, at some time. Price will always come back and retest, even if it's not immediately, all right? So basically, we had the breakout, boom, right? And then we retested this low, and we started to pull back up, and now we got to see what happens right here, all right? Are we going to go back into this trend and push back down, okay? But are we going to break this trend and then start respecting this trend line? I'm sorry. Start respecting this trend line on the way back up, okay? So we basically we're at an area of importance of I forget the word I'm looking for, but we're at an area that would possibly see either a rejection or a push forward, right? Now on gold, given how strong it is, low, high, low, high, lower, low, higher, high, all right? Lower, high, higher, high. Then we're going to see if we get another pullback, okay? Possibly 50%. Let's throw a fib on here. Let's see where we're at lining up here first. Okay. So we may get a rejection right here around 1934 and between 1934 and 1940. This is where I'm looking. Okay. We might get a nice little spike too. Remember, gold likes to fake out. It likes to throw, but not gold. Hedge funds, banks, the people with money that like to use gold to cause confusion at times, and the way it moves is a little bit erratic. So don't let these wicks scare you, okay? Definitely wait till the candles close before you make a decision, especially on gold, okay? I want to throw my EMA 50 on here and my 200 so we can see where everything's lining up. Let me take this fib off for now. What's my EMA 200 on here? Where's it at? All right, all the way down here. All right, cool. So right now, we got to see if it rejects up here. If it does, right, I'm going to take it. I'm going to be looking at least a pushback down to this level. Okay. By this time, this EMA 50, I'm expecting it to look something like this. Start coming up like that. Okay, if that happens, we're going to keep on getting rejection off of it. All right. So long-term selling this or a bigger selling this, I wouldn't be looking forward to after it breaks the EMA 50 and come back down. But for now, this is going to be my first TP right here. It'll be about 200 pips, 218 pips. Okay. If it breaks this, then my second TP is going to be down here. I think that's about 500 pips. Let's see. 457 pips, all right? I won't be looking any lower, right? I won't be looking to hold the sell any lower than that, just in case it does reject and create another higher high. Does that make sense so far on gold? Just looking at the higher time frame, looking at price structure, knowing that this is a rejection zone, okay? This is a rejection zone. So if you do take a trade off of it, just take it back down to the 50. Now, if you're looking for a buy on gold, let's say you don't like to trade against this little bit of a trend, right? Once it pushes down, if it starts to reject at these levels, then take the buy back up. Okay, but you have to get clear rejection. All right, we could even throw a little, we could do this. Let's change this to white. Off the last candle. All right, boom. We'll drop a little channel on here. Oh, that's it. Yeah, oh, my bad. Let's drop a little trend line on this bad boy. All right, let's see what happens. See what happens. This is a crucial area, okay? If it breaks, then where we gonna take it? Take it back down to here. To the next level, to the bottom of our channel. All right. But like I said, we have to see what happens here in this area. Looking for rejection, okay? Anywhere in that area. All right. And one more thing I want to look at. Let's look at the TDI real quick. And the stochastic. Now that we have our bias, right? Now that we have our bias, oops. All right, I don't know. All right, cool. Now that we have our bias, let's check out the TDI real quick. Boom. Market sentiment. Market sentiment is below the 50 static. We're gonna make this a little bit bigger real quick. I don't want to care about price right now. We already know what's gonna happen with price. Now we're gonna look at the TDI and the stochastic and see how they could possibly line up with our bias, okay? So right now we see the TDI This market sentiment, that's the name of this yellow line. This market sentiment is below the 50 static, all right? Anytime that we're below the 50 static, we start looking for price to really start to fall, okay? Just like it did over here. When it was playing below it, you see how price was actually just consolidating and getting ready to fall. Once the TDI and our trigger line did cross below the 50 static, that's when we see this nice little sell here, right? So looking at the TDI and our trigger line now, they're still curved up pretty well, right? So that tells me that price is still push up a little bit more, okay? But once it starts to fall, this will give me the confidence. If I see this market sentiment is still below the 50 static, and we start to hook down here, that would give me the confidence that, okay, we may be selling now, and then I would look for an entry. Same thing with the stochastic. We want that to line up too. If this stochastic on a higher time frames, especially like the 1 hour, the 4 hour, if this thing is still like wide open, pushing up to the upside or downside, and this is the upside, then you could definitely expect price to keep on pushing, okay? It may be a stop hunt, or it may actually keep on breaking levels and creating higher highs. We just have to wait to see what happens, all right? So if I was to go down to the 4 hour, if I'm going too fast, guys, just like, hey, slow down, or hey, I didn't catch that, okay? All right, so same thing with the 4 hour. Let me go ahead and I'm gonna take these off real quick, and I'm gonna throw them right back on, okay? 4 hour, we don't see anything different, right? We see the same story, nice little push up, negative rejection here. Boom, third level kill zone. It's all lining up. We just gotta wait for price to make up his mind, okay? At that point, once it starts falling, guys, look, our EMA 200 is right here. EMA 200 is right here, right? Our 50 EMA is still below the EMA 200. So that tells us that price will definitely keep on pulling down. Okay, once it does start to sell, don't hold these things forever, guys. Just take it to your next level, EMA 200. Cool. By that time, we might be getting across on the 50, so you don't want to hold it any longer than that. You want to wait to see, hop out, and then if it breaks, get in the retest and ride down some more, okay? Is everyone tracking on that? That's the easiest way to figure out where your take profit levels are. Just look at price and look at where's the next EMA, whether up or down, depending on the direction you're going, okay? Another little nugget, just in case, especially if you're brand new on our call, if you're using EMA 200, EMA 50, when you take the trades, you should only be taking trades at those EMAs. So that's to keep you out of bad setups, right? Because you see that this is the little uptrend, right? So if this pulls back, you can wait for the pullback, wait for it to hit our EMA 200, see if it rejects, and you can take the buy back up here, right, with the trend. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Practice trying to take trades just at the EMA, and that will keep you from going the wrong way also, okay? So did I drop this 4 hour chart? No, I didn't. Okay. So 4 hour chart, let me throw that TDI back on real quick. Check this out. So 4 hour, where's my 4 hour market sentiment is just above the 50 static, okay? So this is telling you that now on a daily, we could probably be looking for that pullback. But on the 4 hour, once this thing starts to curve, right? Once it starts to curve, if this market sentiment is still above the 50 static, only take the trade to the next EMA. So if this starts to curve down for the sell, right? This 50 static is telling you there's another possible push up, okay? So if it starts coming down for the sell, take it all the way down, boom, take profit. By that time, your TDI will be down here, and then you'll see, will it reject up, do another push, or will it break down and continue to fall, okay? Same thing with the stochastic. You use these things together, right? You just don't want to use one tool if you could get multiple confirmations or something. At the same time, you don't want to use too many tools that you start to get confusing and different signals. Does that make sense? You can't put everything on your chart, right? You got to find something that works for you. Okay, this is what worked for me. This is what I've shown people that's worked for them. So, if you haven't tried this way of trading with the TDI and the stochastic along with market structure, then try it out. All right. So check it out. On gold, the 4-hour stochastic wave wave of bar, just like our TDI. Once you start getting this cross on here at the same time, when we get all of these confirmations lining up, boom, pull the trigger. Okay, pull the trigger, and you already know your take profit levels. As far as your stop loss, if you're going for a sell, just look at the previous high, right? Or look at where your previous levels are. Okay, so for this, the stop loss could be up here, above this previous high, or you could go right above where price is once it starts turning around. All right, at least you have a tight stop loss, and if it does get hit, then you'll have opportunity to jump in for another position at some point in the future. Okay. Next chart we're going to look at is GU, I believe. Let me go back to this daily real quick. Okay. All right. I just want to make sure I was seeing what I was seeing. Last little tidbit, guys. If we do break this level, this is going to be the next level right here, 1963. Okay, so we might get a wake up, or it may just drop. We just have to keep an eye on gold, man. Just got to keep an eye on gold. All right, GU. Let's talk about it. All right, so what we saw last week on GU was a possible inverted head and shoulders on the 4-hour. Okay, we're expecting it to probably come back down for another push or another retest at some point, and then reject back up. And this was our next target around 1.3023 or 1.3050. Okay, we really didn't try to see what price was going to do after that. We like to take it one move at a time. All right, so that's what we saw. Let me see if there was anything on the smaller time frame. No. All right, cool. So GU, let's talk about it. Let's go to the weekly real quick. So GU, looking at market structure, we had a low, high, lower low, high low. Sorry, high low. Now at this point, we may be expecting a possible higher high, right? But if we look at the past, this is a price has hit this level 1, 2, 3 major times before rejecting down. So what we want to do is, let me zoom out a little bit, show you this. Bigger scale, looking at the bigger picture, this could have been this push up, going back long term, right? Then came right back down the side of our bigger channel. Okay, so a couple of things could happen here. A couple of things. Let me zoom back in here. All right, a couple of things can happen. Price people respecting this smaller channel here, and we could possibly get another push. I wasn't expected to break this high just yet, right? So if we drop a fib on here, drop a fib on them, boom. All right. Prices still keep on pushing, at least to the 50. All right. We got our kill zone, our 50 and our kill zone level up here, right? What price is this at? 1.3096. And this is at 1.3100. What's significant about 1.3100? What's significant about 1.30? What's that? 3100 or 1.3100? Yeah. Who could tell me? Bank rate. Let's talk about it. So, bank rate, right? So we know that especially GU likes to respect these bank rates. So I would see if price is going to keep on pushing up here through tonight. If we may get a push off of this level, to come back down to the 382 before another push up, okay? That's if it continues to respect this channel. Keep in mind, we do have the bigger, our bigger formation here. So we got to see if it breaks all of this, all right? So it's got some pretty strong levels it has to break up here. So a lot of people are going to be looking for the 50 retrace. I wouldn't mind seeing the 62 retrace. So pull up to the 62 and a possible push back down, okay? Now, the reason why I really wouldn't go like probably like 1.30 to 200 would be the highest I would be looking for this to push down or for this to push up before it rejects. Where is my? Hold on, guys. I'm tripping. Right around this area. To really see, you know, if it does push back down here, like if it rejects right here, it could just push back off the bottom of our trend line, right? That's still a good amount of pips, though. That's like 184 pips right there, right? And another push up will give us another 160 pips. So we're gonna actually look down at the smaller time frames to see how things line up, right? I'm probably going to stick with my analysis of seeing the rejection right up here, especially after putting my EMAs on here. Price is just playing in between the EMA 50 and EMA 200, okay? So be careful in this area. If you're looking for long-term trades, you more than likely will be able to catch some scalps, though, or even some intraday trades on this. But we have to see, when it push up? I'm waiting for it to push up. If it starts to push up, then I'm going to go long up to the EMA 200, right? That's still about another 100 pips in there, possibly another 160 pips in there, okay? So really be careful. See if it does something here. Let's go down to, let me just save this. Actually, save this without my EMAs. Now I want to go down to a smaller time frame to see, point out this push up on a higher time frame. It's right here, right at the top of this channel, okay? So definitely want to see what happens here. And this retest just come back down to this level, to the neckline, okay? Or it could completely break it, all right? So we could see something like this. Oops, sorry. Down, let me make this different color. Boom. And then rejection back up to the next level. Boom. And then we could see something like that. Right? So does this make sense, guys? Is there any questions about this? About why we would look for something like this, right? For now, we're just going to be trading in this channel. Just make it do what it do, right? Once it breaks out this channel, then we're going to know our next move. If it breaks out the bottom, we know we could go back down to these levels of 1.2875, 1.2800. But if it breaks out the top, it comes back down for a retest, then overall, we could become all the way back up to 1.3400 up here, okay? Remember, our overall analysis is we have this nice little channel here on the weekly. Okay, so we could play around all day, you know, come back down, retest, and then push up. Okay, but that's why we like to drop these channels on the smaller time frames because we have the direction. Now we just have to see, you know, which way it's going to break out, either or we just trade inside the channel. So we're giving ourselves multiple options. Okay. So I know it looks like a lot, but remember the reason we're going down the time frames. Okay, from the bigger time frames to the smaller time frames. So, you know, we're going to have different analyses throughout these time frames, right? You just have to understand which ones to pay attention to, right? The higher time frames, the daily, even down to the 4 hour, that's what you want to pay attention to for direction. And then the 1 hour and 15 minute or in the 5 minute, that's what you want to pay attention to for your entry, okay? All right, check it out. 4 hour. What do you have here? You see that we're up at this level, this resistance level? But look, we broke this high over here also, okay? So if it does decide to retest, we're expecting a lower high, then the higher high push up. So it could come back down, boom, retest here. How many pips is this? From top to here, that's 59 pips, okay? From here to the bottom of our channel, it's 115 pips, and it still would not have broken the previous low. Okay, so these are things you want to look out for. You can drop some trend lines in here. I really don't like to go you know, we're on the 4 hour. This thing's looking a little bit good. Just got to clean it up a little bit. You know, really don't have to drop no more levels in here. Just wait to see what price does, especially here. Okay? If you want, you can drop more channels in here, but I'm going to leave it like this. Okay? This is looking pretty strizzy to me. Let's drop some EMAs on here. Here we go. So the rejection, when it comes back down, what do we say? Come back down to retest these levels here, right? So if it does come to reject down, like I said earlier, or even here and here. So like I said earlier, once the price starts to turn around, take profits at your EMAs. Okay? Take profits at your EMAs. In this case, we have a level before EMA, so that could be take profit 1. Let's say it turned around here. That's 71 pips, take profit 1. Take profit 2, 114 pips. At that point, you can hop out and see what it does. All right? But if price is starting to fall and our 50 EMA crosses over our EMA 200, this GU won't fall any lower. We're going wrong. Okay? If this 50 EMA is crossed over in a biopoma, this retest is going to retest to 50 and we're going back long. Let's check out the TDI. What's the TDI telling us? Let's highlight that 50 static. All right, so based on our TDI, look, market sentiment is a couple levels above our 50 static, right? It's right around 54. And our TDI and trigger line are both trending above the 50 static and our market sentiment, okay? This is what I see. I see price pulling down. We got to get a TDI cross back down to market sentiment here, okay? Between the market sentiment and 50 static, we'll probably get some kind of double bottom that's going to show up on our TDI, right? When that happens, price is going to be down here near the 50 playing, right? Giving people notions that maybe it may reject or put or break past it. If this market sentiment is still above 50 static, we've got to get a rejection and go back long, okay? We've got to get rejections, go with something like this. This bad boy's going to come right up here. This bad boy's going to look something like that. Make that thing yellow. Boom. So with something like that, price will probably come down. Boom. And reject back off. Anywhere in there when that happens, okay? So just keep that in mind. But that's the kind of notes you want to see if you're thinking that GUs will go wrong. You want that thing to cross back over, okay? And then let me just look at the 50 static. Let's just throw that bad boy on real quick. All right, 50 static's overbought. Okay, so like we saw on a previous chart, I can't remember, maybe it was gold. When this bad boy starts to curve over and start to get that cross back down, that's going to be the push down to our level, EMA 200. This right here, stochastic should start look like this over here, right? It start to be pointing down, okay? Then if we end up breaking this low, guess what, guys? That means that we may be going down to the south side. So you have a couple of things here to protect you on, you know, not taking a bad position. You have our EMAs, we have our trend line here. You know, you just have to be patient. That's the biggest thing, patience and emotions, all right? Like I said before, not just the emotions when you're losing, but the emotions when you're winning too. Keep that under control, okay? Keep it under control. All right, cool. So let's get into GJ. GBP, JPY. That thing marked up, isn't it? All right, let's check it out. Where's my EMA 200? Oh, it's right there. All right, cool. All right, so GJ last week or last couple of weeks basically had rejected off the bottom of our channel here. All right, we can actually drop another channel right in there, but we'll keep an eye on it. So, basically, all this buying up, guys, is just a retest to get back into the original trend. Okay, this trend up here. Let's see if we can mark this out nice. Nice and clean. Here, we go a little bit lower. We got more points here. All right. So we'll go with that. Lines up with the EMA 200. I just wanted you guys to see that, you know, when you're on a downtrend or when you're on any trend, okay, when price breaks away, it pulls back. It steps in the name of love back into the trend. Okay? We get a drop away from it, it steps back up into it. Drop away, comes back up into it. Drop away, comes back up into it. Drop away, guess what? Comes back up into it. So I'm expecting a push at least until about 140 overall. All right, let's just let's clean this bad boy up real quick. Actually, let's do this. Boom. Remove some of that noise. All right, cool. So let's drop a fib on it. Right here. All the way down. All right, so price right now is at our 6.2 level, okay? If it sticks with what's going on here, right? High, low, higher, high, higher, low, right? This wick never broke this previous low, okay? Which is why for now, I'm expecting it to at least come up to the 140 mark, okay? At a minimum, okay? Maybe even the 7.9. Let's say between 139, 35, and 140, right? Anywhere in here. Anywhere, let's see, where we're at. Right in here, okay? Let's say right in here. I wouldn't mind seeing price come all the way up to this point, okay? It can push higher. Definitely could push higher to break another high, okay? To create another high, but I don't mind cutting myself short because I know this EMA 200 is coming down, okay? So I like to set my take profits with somewhere where I know it's going to smash, right? I don't need to catch all the pips. Just give me some of them, okay? So I wouldn't mind seeing price, of course, keep on buying up to this levels here. All right. Now, at that point, I'm going to see like where's the EMA 200 lining up and all that good stuff. But once it gets up here, if it doesn't break the high, let's just say this. Let's just set our take profit for here for now. Okay. Set it for here. And then I'm going to go down to the lower time frames and see what's going on here. Because remember, this is the 6.2 level. All right. So it could definitely reject. We got a couple different scenarios here. We can reject off the 6.2 level, boom, come back down, and then give us another push up. Okay, let's just take it all the way up to our trend line. Okay, something like that, and then we'll see what it does at the EMA 200. On the daily time frame, for a price to reach all the way up here, look where it's lining up with. Look over here. Our wick is lined up right with that level from the left side, okay? So it could end up being like an ugly head and shoulders. It still has some room to buy up, at least to where it broke past here. All right, so that's just a couple of pips, right? It should be like, that's 82 pips, and then we have 232 pips all the way. So how do you know when to stay into this thing? How do you know, if it's going to keep on going? Just do what we always do. Drop those trend lines. Let's go down to the 4 hour, actually. Let's see what we can see on the 4 hour before we look at this daily. All right, cool. So, drop these trend lines, baby. Just lining up these points here. Zoom in. All right, cool. So here we are on the 4 hour. So we still have to see, like I said earlier, we're going to reject off of this 50 or if we're going to buy up to the next level here, okay? The top of our trend line, which lines up with about 138.50, which is one of our bank rates, right? 138.44, 138.50, it's all up in that area. So we could definitely see a price breaks past this level. This is long term. Definitely have to see a price breaks past this level on our 50 fail, then to push up. Then we'll see if we end up rejecting off of here back down, right? So that long-term sell or the bid sell and all that good stuff, guys, that stuff doesn't play out until we break these smaller levels, okay? Nice inverted head and shoulders right here that played out. So we could definitely keep on pushing all the way up here if this head and shoulders keeps on playing out. Understand this is a pretty strong resistance level. If you look over here, look left, we're right at the zone where price consolidated before. So even if it does break, it can consolidate and then push up more, okay? Just always trade with your zones, guys. Respect your zones. Let's start EMAs on here. And here we go. See, we have the EMA is about to flip to our BiPoMA. Our EMA 50 is right at the EMA 200, okay? If we get this cross, which it looks like we may be getting tonight, we get this cross, oh, well, it doesn't matter. We get this cross. Let me try that again. All right. Get this cross up here. You guys understand. This thing is not cooperating tonight. Let's talk about it. Jeez. All right. So we get the EMA cross up, red over the yellow, okay? Price was going to come back down, retest our 50. That's the red EMA, okay? Retest the 50, and we could look for that rejection back up, all right? Especially if we get that cross. Let's check out the TDI. What's the TDI talking about? What you talking about? All right, I'm going to highlight my 50 static here. I love doing this, like immediately as soon as I put my TDI on here. So then we could look at it at a glance and tell what price might do. Okay, so that's right about the 50. Let's make it right. Cool. So we see right here off the CDI, just like we've been seeing on, GU and other pairs, guys, is trending above the 50 static, right? Market sentiment is above the 50 static, and our TDI and trigger line both are above the 50 market sentiment, okay? So this tells me, yes, this pullback can happen, but it won't last. It will just be a pullback, and price more than likely is to respect this channel and go back up, okay? As long as our 50 static is above that, as long as our market sentiment is above the 50 static, we know that could give us a little bit more reassurance that, hey, we can be still going long. Okay, let's check out the stochastic. Stochastic is telling us what? The pullback is going to come. Yes, there will be a pullback, all right? Take it back down. Everything's confirming what we were able to see. Even if I'm scalping, I know where my next level is going to be. So I keep on scalping to that level, okay? I'm looking for, basically right now, I'm looking for the strongest trending time frame. Looking for bounces, seeing how well this EMA is respected on these time frames, and then we could find our entry time frame. Like what time frame you'd be looking for entry, right? This is all the way down to the 5 minute. Let me look at the 1 hour. Looks like the EMA 200 is the one that's being respected the most. Right around here. All right, so look at the 15 minute. All right, so if you're looking at the 15 minute and you're looking for entries on any pair, this is on any pair, guys. Okay. First of all, look for the time frame that's respecting the EMAs the most. This isn't exactly as pretty as I like to see them, but it looks like the EMA 200 is the EMA to look at in this instance. It all depends. So here's two things to look at. If your stochastic oversold and you're at an EMA, it could possibly be looking for a rejection. Okay, like here, stochastic was oversold here, the EMA 200, all the oversold, just like it's looking now. This is where you could possibly see another push up. Okay, even here, price was oversold, it pulled down to the EMA 200 and then pushed up. Here, price is oversold in a stochastic, you wait for the flip, boom, start rejecting back up. Okay, of course, if price does break the EMA 50, okay, wait to see if it goes all the way down to the EMA 200. Then once you get rejection of the EMA 200, just take it up to the EMA 50, so on and so forth. All right. Let's check out the TDI on this. I'm hoping that it looks a certain way. Okay. Let me see. All right. So a couple of things about this TDI, guys. Couple of things. Now that price is broken below market sentiment here, right? Our RSI line and our trigger line are down here. Even though it's above the 50 static, the 50 static, this push up could only, it may only come up to market sentiment and then another push down, right? If it starts to trend below the TDI, so if it's in the green, starts to trend below the TDI, and it's like a strong, like here, it's not really trending above or below, it's consolidating, right? You guys can see the difference between consolidation, market sentiment usually going straight, right? And then when it starts to break out to a trend, market sentiment usually going to an angle of some sort, whether up or down, okay? So if it starts to get the pullback here, right? If this starts to flip back up, take profit will be back to the previous high, okay? If it decides to break above market sentiment and keep on going, then you know you're going to go longer. All right, you're probably going to go on to the next level up here, but it has to break back above this market sentiment on the top side. Okay, it's still pretty weak, strong trend. Pretty weak, strong trend. I consider this almost like the trend weakening a little bit, but if it starts to reject, we know that the bulls will come back in and push price back up. So, you know, when we're marking off our levels, when we're doing support resistance and trends and all that good stuff, guys, you could do this on all time frames. Do the same, it's the same thing on all time frames. Okay? Look at this, guys. Breakout. Gotta come back down for a retest, right? Gotta come back down for a retest at some point. If we get the retest here, we'll probably get the continuation back up. So let me take this off of the oops. Take this off of the 15 minutes. Boom. Take this off of the 15 minute. Boom. All right. So remember what I covered last week, guys. When we have our levels on here, we have a support level and a resistance level here, right? When we get the break, we got the retest, then we got to push up to the next level, okay? At this point, price is starting to turn back around. If this lines up with the 50, we know where price is going. Boom. Boom. Price come back down to the 50. Anywhere down here, or even the 62. Okay? And then that's where you'll look for a rejection. Back up. If you're not sure, throw the EMAs on here. EMA 50, price is right at the EMA 50. EMA 200, where we at? It's right below our kill zone levels. By the time price comes down here, if it meets our EMA 50 at the 62, it's go time. It's go time. Wait for the rejection. That'll be 50 pips. Nice 50 pip move. Okay? All right. GA. Let me check this out. Checking on the daily. I already see it like a little inverted head and shoulders possibly on GA. Let's go down to the weekly real quick. Go up to the weekly. Drop some fans on here. This thing looks ugly. All right, let's check out the daily. I'm gonna drop a fib on here. Boom, 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 boom. Let's go from here to here first. All right, so looks like nice, strong support level resistance here. All right. So based off the daily time frame on GA, we did have a nice little double top here at this resistance level, but we might actually get a triple top happening. The price continues to buy up here. Let's go down to the 4 hour, see what kind of information we could get. Let me come back over here. Mark off some levels real quick. Daily 50. All right. So mark off a couple levels real quick, guys, so I can remove this fib. See if this makes it any better. Go down to the 4 hour. All right, I just need to make this naked chart. Level here, level here, level here, level here. So basically, the price has just been the consolidation, guys, right? For the last few days. Look here. Consolidation, price broke up, got a nice little retest to this breakout over here. Okay, we have to see what it's going to do. I wouldn't mind seeing this push up to finally break these previous highs, okay? Push up to this level here. It has to stay above this trend line for this to stay true, okay? We also have, we drop a trend line here. We'll go all the way across, actually. Boom. Okay, so now you know when to enter. If it decides to buy up, we'll take the, at the breakout, go for the retest. Retest, and take it back to the next level. Boom. I want to see overall that was 100%. Okay. So if it does come back up here, that's at the 6-2 level, guys. So if it does break out and we get a retest, we're probably going to go up to our third kill zone level, the 7-9. And this is about, off the retest from the 50, that's about 133 pips, okay? But you wouldn't take it any higher. I wouldn't go for a long buy until it breaks. It has to break either here or here. It's just been consolidating for a while. So once these EMAs start to point a certain way, you know you're good to go. You're looking at the CDI. Mark off right here. All right, so look, TDI is just telling me right now, we are in consolidation. Market sentiment is right above the 50 static. It really hasn't made up its mind. It could do anything. It could break out the bottom here. We could go the opposite way. right? If that rejection happens, we could go the opposite way. Let's say it popped out the bottom. Boom. Rejection back up. Then the sell back down. All right. So now we have two levels that we could go to. Is this depending on what price does? Which way does it decide to break out? Will it break out the top? Cool. If this, then that. If it breaks out the top, then I will look for a retest and a rejection back up to go to my next kill zone level. If it rejects and breaks out the bottom, then I'm going to look for the retest and go down to my next support level. Either or, you'll be prepared to see what happens, right? You'll be prepared depending on what happens is what I meant, not to see what happens, okay? So let's go down to 1 hour. All right, cool. So check this out. So we got the 4 hour. I'm gonna make these purple real quick, okay? I'm gonna make them purple. I want you guys to see something there. Boom. Purple. I'm gonna remove this bit now. Okay. So let's check out these levels, guys. First, this top level, look at the price. We're around 1.8100 there, right? Down here, where are we at? 1.7853 or 1.7850. You see, we're just playing in between our bank levels, right? So if you guys haven't seen the replay last week, where I just went over on I think it was GJ, or a different chart, I just marked out the bank levels and I showed, look, price when it breaks one bank levels, it'll go to the next one, right? And if you put your bank levels on your charts and you're only watching one or two pairs, you don't have to do support resistance every week. You know, you're just looking at where the levels are at. So in this instance, we're looking for if this, then that. I'm gonna drop down to the 1 hour real quick. I want to show you real quick something. So this is GBP AUD. It's 4. If this, then that. Okay. Let's look at the 1 hour. So now we keep on digging down to this smaller time frame so we could really see what's happening, so we can get more information that maybe we wouldn't have seen on the higher time frames, okay? So if we go in here and we do the same thing, right? We got this trend line here, and then we got this trend line. We could drop right here. Let's do here and here. It'll be something like that. I'm gonna change it white. Okay, something like this. We can drop another one from the top, right down. Okay, make it a little bit more prettier if we wanted to, but it'll be a channel like this. I actually like this a little bit better. Yeah, cool. It'll be boom. We break this. You know, the next high is over here. You're just really watching it in this area. I wouldn't even jump into anything, so I saw what was happening. Okay, look at market sentiment on the 1 hour time frame. Market sentiment is below the 50 static, so this tells me that this could definitely pull back down. At the same time, our 50 EMA started to cross over the EMA 200, but now it's just like it's sitting on top of each other. We have to wait to see which way this thing breaks. Okay, we have to wait to see which way this thing breaks. All right, so just keep an eye on it. See how it just stretches up. Once you start to get the rejection back down, if your 50 EMA is definitely still below the 200, you can take the sell back down to the next level. All right, or to the previous low, whichever way you want to do. We throw the stochastic on here to see. The stochastic is looking just like the TDI. It's still pointing up, so this could definitely keep on breaking. All right, don't trade against these guys. If you see this thing pointing straight up and you're taking a trade on that time frame, wait until it goes your way. Okay, I definitely wouldn't be jumping to a. That's another thing. Let me just reiterate this. Let's say you saw this pointing up way down here before all this over here. Okay, so all this doesn't exist yet. All right, when it starts to get this little dip here, it starts to go back up.
to me, that's still sketchy for me to jump in. I need my stochastics to be either all the way oversold and starting to go up, or all the way overbought and starting to come back down. The best setups to take, especially if you're looking at the stochastic, is to see if you have a double top or a double bottom in the direction of your trend. Okay, that's the same thing with the TDI. Sometimes you might get a little pop up, boom, pop back down, another pop up, and then a fall. Okay, so make sure you guys keep an eye on that. I usually like to see the TDI do a double bounce, right, before I see a move. So even if this starts to sell, you can wait for a double bounce, wait for it to come down, come back up, and then take the sell in the second leg, like catching the market formation on your indicators. All right. So that's really the takeaway for tonight, guys. You see where we're at now on GA. All right. We know what we're waiting for. We still see it still has room to buy. There's no sell candle here. There's no engulfing candle here. There's no signal telling us to sell. So just keep on buying up. If it does start to drop back down, be mindful of a potential inverted head and shoulders. Okay? Be mindful to see what happens over here if we get rejection back down, all right? Okay. If this, then that, guys. If this, then that. Bad boy's already broken above it. Clean up this trend line here. So we'll definitely see. This is maybe the next level we're going to, guys. Maybe the next level right there. All right. Oh. Cool. All right, guys. So that's it. That's all the charts for tonight. As always, it's your boy Deontay. Break the cycle section. And I'll see you on the next webinar. You guys have a great night.